Hey guys, I'm back. Just got round to watching a few things. I watched Fantastic Four, as well as the Deadpool trailer the same day it came out. So I'm gonna just really talk about those in general because hey, I'm a Marvel fan. There's been a lot of talk about this new Fantastic Four film, mostly negative, as well as the Deadpool trailer's been getting a lot of buzz. So and they're both 20th Century Fox related. So why not? Let's just kill two birds with one stone. So I'm going to start off with Fantastic Four. I went into this after hearing all the negative shit, like pretty much going, you know what, I've had three great Marvel movies this year with Big Hero 6, Avengers 2 and Ant-Man. If this sucks, I'm not going to be pissed because you know what, 3 out of 4 films in a year ain't that bad. I'm not complaining. And safely after seeing it, I can safely say this is the worst Marvel movie of the year. And I've had a feeling it was going to be, and I knew in my heart it probably was going to be bad. Is it the biggest piece of shit that has ever had the Marvel name on it? As far as I'm concerned, fuck no. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think there's anything as bad as, say, Daredevil or Elektra. I don't see this as being as bad as Origins Wolverine. I don't see it being like some people are saying this is the worst Marvel movie ever, and I genuinely feel that it's because Marvel this year has had such a great year with Big Hero 6, Ant-Man and Avengers 2 that then this looks like the sore thumb of the group, and it definitely is the sore thumb of the group. But comparing the fact that this is the worst Marvel movie of the year to the fact that there is suddenly none of this other shit that's happened before is kind of really bad. Now, granted, if Daredevil, Elektra, and all of those never came out before, yeah, this would probably be the worst Marvel movie ever. The saddest thing about it, that I have to be honest, is that this is probably the best Fantastic Four film, in my opinion. It's my favourite one, and it's just, if you follow me on Twitter, I said, and I'll give my score now, it's 6 out of 10. It's 6 out of 10. It's slightly above average. There's parts of it that really shine through, but so much of it is so drab and generic and been there, done that. And the plot, I'm going to be spoiling stuff in this review because pretty much the plot is in the trailer. Now, I'm not saying that everything in the trailer, once you've seen the trailer, you've seen the film. Plot-wise, you have. They build this teleporter. They go to the I think it's the negative zone or something like that. I can't really remember. It was quite late last night. You know that you go on the negative zone, yada yada yada, and to be quite frankly honest, what you see is what you get. You know, there's not really much more to it. I'll get into Doctor Doom later, and I'll get into the team members and such, but I feel that this film, if all the backstage shit is true, where Josh Trank had a mental breakdown, he had such a bad conflict with Fox, and at the same time, they might have got someone else on there, plus a lot of reshoots, which I can definitely see they had a lot of reshoots. It's very obvious. The continuity is all over the place in some scenes. Which I was surprisingly able to keep track of last night, despite the fact I'm half asleep. And a lot of people going, "Oh well, you can't really review if you weren't fully awake." I was awake. I took everything in. I just passed out when I got home. I know everything that happens in this movie, and I'm being 100% honest and truthful when I say that my opinion is 100% my opinion. This has nothing to do with the negative reviews and stuff. And I've been saying to everyone at work, because I work at the cinema, if you didn't know. Everyone at work, I was saying to them, you know what? I'm putting it down. This is going to be the most surprising film of the year. It's probably going to be average. I said, all the negative shit it's been getting, I wouldn't be surprised if it was average. It'd be alright. I would be fine with that. To be honest, 6 out of 10 for what I got, I was fine with it. But I think because it's compared to the other shit Marvel movies, and it's really the past 3 Fantastic Four films. There have been 3 more. There was a straight to VHS, I believe, in '94, which apparently was god awful. That was there to keep the rights. Fox used that to keep the rights. Then there was the 2000 and I want to say 5 Fantastic Four film. I've got both of them. That was just very cheesy. It was okay, but it was just very cheesy. And then the Rise of the Silver Surfer, which I own but I've never seen, is apparently god awful. Hence why there's a reboot now with this. And it's just, It's such a shame. It's such a fucking shame because the Fantastic Four, the Marvel fans as well, they don't care about them no more. They just don't give a shit. And it's such a shame because I really, really enjoy the idea of the Fantastic Four being the first Marvel family, this is Marvel's first big comic. This is the thing that put them on the map. This is what made them unique from DC. And it's such a shame that they just can't have a single good movie. And I know what all the fans, including me in my head, were thinking. Give it back to Marvel, let Marvel do it. Let Marvel do the right thing. And I'm sure they do a good job, but I think, all in honesty, it's too little too fucking late. I think, honestly, no one gives a shit. I think people are more open to the fact that Marvel is experimenting with these new characters like Ant-Man, and they're going to be doing Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Captain Marvel, and Inhumans, all these new faces. Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know how many people I know at work who are like, oh my god, I can't wait for the second one. Before the film even came out, they didn't know who the fuck they were. So I don't think people care no more. The Fantastic Four is not a big name anymore. It used to be, and it's not anymore, and it's a shame. It is a genuine shame. But saying that, the film is just painfully average. Now, I'm gonna get into spoilers now. 6 out of 10 is my thing. I will be talking about the Deadpool trailer. I'm gonna be honest. Just quickly out of there, so you don't have to worry about spoilers if you want to care my opinion on the Deadpool trailer. Thank God that trailer came out today, because to be honest, if that trailer didn't come out, to be honest, the Fantastic Four film would have been there and it would have got all the press. And I can tell 20th Century Fox probably released it the same day the film comes out to distract people from Fantastic Four, so they don't look at the reviews and they'll go, oh, maybe I'll watch it later. But they'll be focused on Deadpool coming out. Now, Deadpool looks very promising, very good. I did laugh all the way through, and it looks very, very, very good. However, I need to see more, I feel, before I'm definitely sold on the idea of this being a very, very good Marvel movie. It looks promising. Not saying I hate it whatsoever, but besides I hope it's not like a comedy trailer where they show the best bits. Because if that's the best bits, it looks fine and it's funny and it made me chuckle. Don't get me wrong, it was good, but if that's all they have to offer, this is going to be a fucking movie we've waited so long for, and it's just going to blow up in our faces, and it's just going to be awful. Because you've seen the best bits in the trailer, sort of thing, which I'm sure they're hiding some stuff, and I hope they are, but we'll find out. But yeah, overall, very happy with the Deadpool trailer. I think it's very promising. Anyway, back to Fantastic Four, so spoilers from now on. I feel this movie, it feels like it was directed by 3 different people. And it had 3 different types of audience members in mind. Let's get into it. The first third of the movie, I believe, from what I've seen of Chronicle and what I've heard of people that like Josh Trank's work being mostly Chronicle, the tone and the origin at the beginning of Reed and Ben Grimm as kids is done very well. I think that was done very well. Most of the critics are like, I think it's forced. I personally didn't feel that way. I felt the chemistry between the kids, and even when they're grown up, and the actual cast, even though they look too young, the chemistry worked, and I bought into it. I liked that. That I personally feel I give a shit more about this Fantastic Four team than the ones in the 2005 and the Rise of the Silver Surfer. Those Silver Surfer films. So I can see what he was going for. He was going for a sci-fi epic sort of film. That's what he was going for. He was going for an origin story, and he was trying to tell the best origin story of the Fantastic Four as possible. Which, in my opinion, he gets Reed and Ben down pretty well. Pretty well. Not perfect, but pretty damn well. Sue is adopted. Just literally one line, like she's like, oh, she's adopted. Just one line, and it's never mentioned again. I thought that was very lazy. However, Sue as a character I did like. I did relate more. I gave a shit more about Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, in this movie than I did in the other ones, because to be honest, we all know why Jessica Alba was cast, because she looked damn good. That was the main reason. She looked damn good, and she was eye candy for the guys to get them in the film, and also you needed a slim woman for the Invisible Woman. Kate Mara did a fantastic job. I've never seen her in anything. I thought she did fine as Invisible Woman. I cannot remember his name. I know his real name is Johnny something Fox, B Fox. I want to say, I can't remember off the top of my head. Let me have a look on my phone quickly. I'm pretty sure it was Johnny B Fox. I'm just going to double check this while I'm here. Johnny B Fox, pretty sure, who played Human Torch, was it? Oh, it's Michael B Jordan. Sorry, I'm getting Johnny with Johnny Storm. Michael B Jordan, I apologise. I think he did fine as Johnny Storm. He had the right amount of cockiness, but at the same time, they really did glance over his sort of aspect. He's first time we see him, he's in a drag race in like a Toyota, old Toyota, I don't know cars. And he's racing and shit, and he has a car accident and he hurts his arm. And that's what we see of him about cars. He can put stuff together. That's it. That's his character, really. It's like a one scene thing where he's driving and he crashes and he's cocky. He's like, bye-bye, and that shit like that. And then he's crashing into a car. Besides the cockiness that's every so often put in, we really don't get much from him. And it's such a shame. I think it was banking on the fact that we knew who the Fantastic Four were. But if this is an origin and you're redoing everything and you're like, you can start fresh, take these characters. I'm fine with you taking new directions with them. I'm fine with Sue Storm being adopted. But for fuck's sake, do more than one line where, oh, she's adopted. You know? And I can tell this is probably a mixture of Josh Trank not getting his way, plus Fox meddling in, and honestly, people in the project probably not giving a single shit. Because it's just to keep the rights. It really does feel like that. So that's the first third of the movie. And he sets up he wants to set up like a teleporter. Interdimensional travel. I'm tired still. And so I can definitely see that he wanted to do something sci-fi, like I said. Second third of the movie. They get a bit drunk. This is just before the second third of the movie. They introduce us to Victor Von Doom, who I can tell in a reshoot had his name changed at the last minute, because it used to be Victor Demeshkala something. He was from Latvia. I can tell that's what they were gonna do, and they were like, in the rumours I heard, and the rumours are probably fucking true from the scene we saw him in, they're like, oh, he's a blogger / hacker sort of guy, and his nickname on the forums is Doom. And nobody liked that, so they reshot it. And the first time we see him, he's like in a dark room. I think he's playing like Assassin's Creed Unity, and fucking really bad fucking product placement. Why the fuck he's playing Unity is beyond me. Everyone knows that game fucking sucked, apparently. So he's playing that, and he's like controlling stuff with his thoughts because he's got this thing on his eyes, and he's really smart, but he's also just in the corner. He's in the dark because he's the bad guy, you know, and it's just generic. And I felt so pissed off at that, because I love Doctor Doom. He's my absolute favourite Marvel villain, and it's just the origin they've given him here is so shit. Granted, the one in the 2005 version wasn't very good either, but this is only a sliver better. I would rather take this over that by the smallest hair, like a gnat's wing. It's not good, the origin. I'm just sat there watching it, and I'm like, oh no. So they bring him in because they need his help, as well as Reed, in order for them to build this thing. And he's like, oh, you know, I hate the government, I hate this world, people are punished, we waterboard, yada, 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 yada. He just hates fucking the Earth because he's the bad guy. And Sue gives out this fucking line, and I literally rolled my eyes in the cinema. I could not believe they uttered it. And she was like, wow, we've got our little Doctor Doom over here. And I'm thinking, oh, what the fuck was that? Like, what is that? That's awful. That has to be the worst line in any Marvel movie I have heard. I'm being serious. I just sat there, rolled my eyes, and almost yelled out, what the fuck? Like, oh, you couldn't have done it. You couldn't have crowbarred that foreshadowing in any fucking harder if you tried. Like, Jesus Christ. Oh, it was not good. It was not good at all. Ugh. No, just ugh. That was awful. They do redeem him later. I'll get back to that in the third act. But so the second act of the movie starts. They get drunk and they decide they're going to go because they want to get NASA in, and they don't want them taking credit for their work. So they get drunk a bit, and then Reed calls up Ben. He's like, "Hey Ben, you know, you helped me do this, and yeah, let's go. You know, let's go to this place." So it's Ben Grimm, Johnny Storm, Victor Von Doom, and Reed Richards get in the interdimensional travel teleporter. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my fucking head. I do apologise. Pretty much you get the gist of what it fucking does, though. I think it's a quantum gate. I want to say off the top of my head, quantum gate. I think it is. So they go there and they're in this other place because they tested it. Fuck me, I'm tired. They tested it on chimps and they worked and they came back fine. Their vitals were fine. So they're like, right, we're going to use humans. So they decide to go themselves after hours when they're not supposed to. And they get in and they get to this place and they're like, oh, this is really cool. And there's all green shit all over. And I'm like, right, this is foreshadowing, but at least it's not as bad as we've got a right Doctor do, you know. And it's like, oh my god. So Victor ends up touching this slimy shit. They go down to inspect it. He touches it and it reacts to his hands. And it like fucking erupts like a volcano out of the ground. The floor starts cracking and shit. And it's like, oh god, what do we do? What do we do? And they start running back to the thing. And they're all climbing up the side and like Johnny's at the top. He didn't want to go down. He's like their anchor. And so Victor ends up getting like this green shit covering him, like acid, burning him. One of the most gory probably scenes in the film. And he's like, it snaps the rope they're on, and he just falls into this pit of green shit. Presumed dead, but obviously if you've fucking seen the trailer, or you know anything about Fantastic Four, or the fact that Victor Von Doom becomes fucking Doctor... Fuck, they uttered it in the beginning of the fucking movie. We know he's not dead, so I don't give a shit. That's the problem I had with it. And so they go, oh, we've got to get Victor. He's like, no, it's too late. And they all get back in their pods. And this was probably one of the best parts of the film for me, was how they show they have their different powers. Because in the original Fantastic Four film in the 2005, it's just the storm hits them and they all kind of have a different reaction to it, and that's it. With this, it's very cool, I thought. They're all trying to get back in the pod. Sue's at the office trying to get them back on the computer. She finds out they've launched it without permission. So she's trying to get them back manually. And Johnny's like, Sue, get us back, Sue, get us back, and shit like that. And so what happens is that I'm just rambling now, really. They're trying to get back, and Ben's pod door keeps opening. He can't shut it. And all these fucking rocks start to pelt him as it's like teleporting. So obviously I'm like, right, that's how he becomes a thing. That makes sense. He gets pelted to fuck with rocks. Cool. Well done. Johnny Storm gets set on fire as the thing goes through. Well done. It's a mixture of the goo with the reaction with the teleportation that gives them their powers. That was cool. I liked that. The fire... Johnny Storm is set on fire in his own pod. He burns alive. He's like, oh, fuck. He's like roasting. And Reed's trying to reach to get to Ben, and it like shows his like arm and stuff. That's good. This is how you do it. So they end up coming back through the teleporter. Fucking Sue gets fucked into a wall, and like the exposure of that makes her go transparent. I thought that was a bit tacked on. I was like, oh, okay, all right, that will the Sue Storms one was a bit, oh, really? Like, I don't know, but it was okay. It wasn't awful. And so then Reed wakes up, and then they're in a military facility, and they're basically being tested on because like, what the fuck are these people? And he's like really stretched out and shit. And so he decides to escape, and he ends up coming across Ben, and I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be such a good scene. And they show the thing, and he's like got the deep voice, like she didn't have in the trailer, but I'm so glad he did in the film. He's like, he's got a real deep voice, and he's like, I can't see you, Ben. There's just rocks, and he like moves, and it's like, and he shows his face. He's like, Reed, help me, and like that, and he leaves him, and he's like, I'm sorry, and shit, and Ben fucking resents him for it, and they show that well. And then it skips a year later, and I feel that the director in the second act here looked at the Incredible Hulk, and he's like, right, Hulk's always on the run in like South America, Panama, that sort of thing. Let's put Reed Richards there, and he kind of looks like Hulk as well. I'm like, oh, that just felt stupid. And so then they decide that it skips a year ahead. He's in Panama. Thing has been sent on military missions. This was a cool angle, but it's not done enough. It's not done enough. Sue Storm and Johnny Storm are being trained for military stuff as well. They call them subjects. Subject 2, 3, and 4. Obviously, subject 1 being Reed Richards. So he's in Panama trying to actually rebuild. I think he was trying to rebuild the machine to go back and try and fix them. Something like that. I think it wasn't enough time for it. There really wasn't enough time for it. This is an hour and 50 movie, and shit just gets glanced over. It's a real shame. It really is, because there's a lot of potential, like I said. So they end up sending military after Reed. He like beats them up by like, stretching and shit, which was really cool. And he actually disguises himself and changes his face. Some people say the CG was a bit shit there, and it isn't the best CG, but I didn't mind it. It was okay. And I liked that he could change his face. And I remember like my girlfriend was watching it with me, and she was like, "Can he do that?" I was like, "I'm pretty sure he could. If he could stretch his face, I'm pretty sure you could change it slightly. You know, like it looked similar." So whatever. Then we get on to the military gets sent in. He beats the shit out of them. Ben Grimm comes in and fucking nuts him. I'm like, that was cool. And so they end up getting him back. They need Reed to rebuild the machine so they can go back there and try and find a cure for these people. And they also want another planet. So they fix the machine, they send people through, and they discover a heat signature. This is where the third of the movie, the last act comes in. And this is probably the best fucking part of the movie, in my opinion. They discover there's a heat signature about a mile away, half a mile away. So they go and look over, and it's Victor. It's Doctor Doom. Fucking irradiated. His suit is meshed onto him. He looks like a cyborg. And he's all green tinted and shit. Now, I know some people don't like the look of him. I personally didn't mind him, but I do prefer the look of Doctor Doom in the 2005 one. But the reason I like this Doctor Doom just a slight bit more, I will get into in a minute. He collapses in front of him. He has the cloak on, the green cloak. Question, where the fuck did he get the cloak from? Where the fuck did you get this cloak from on this dystopian planet of nothing but rock and these weird chemicals? There is no fucking fabric there. There is no way for you to be able to make a fucking cloak. Okay? Not a fucking chance. I didn't buy that for a second. I'm like, no. It was there because Doctor Doom has a cloak. That's it. And they were like, he doesn't really look like Doctor Doom that much, so if we give him a cloak, it'll probably balance it out. But in doing so, you make me go, well, where did the cloak come from? You know, where was this? It never got explained. They never explained. I'm like, that was my gripe with Doctor Doom, really, to be honest. It was like, what? It wasn't the look of him, it was the cloak. So they bring him back, and they put him in an operating table. And this is the best part of the movie, in my opinion. This is why I prefer this Doctor Doom. Because he has, like, telekinesis and shit. And they're like, he says, like, the beginning of this new world is mine. And they're like, how did you survive so long? And he's like, because the planet kept me alive. Because of all the green shit. And, like, the planet looks so different when they go back a year later. It's all, like, orangey yellow, sort of, and grey. Whereas it was grey before, but it was green. He has literally sucked the entire planet dry, probably, of that green shit. He's probably absorbed it and he's become very powerful. And the fact of the matter is, it shows the Fantastic Four aren't as powerful as him because of the fact that they've been there and exposed to it in very brief amounts. He's been exposed to this shit for a year. For a year, and he's sucked the planet dry. That shows his power. That is good. I enjoyed that. When he gets out of that operating room, he fucking bursts heads. He, like, looks at people and, like, heats them up beyond belief, and they combust. And this guy in a hazmat suit, his fucking head explodes, and there's blood all over the plastic, like, covering. And I was like, oh my god. And my girlfriend nearly threw up next to me. But that looked amazing. Then he goes on a rampage, like, you've probably seen little bits of it in the trailer, through this military base to get back to the teleport, because he wants to go back to the planet to destroy Earth. And he's just blowing up heads and shit, and there's blood all over the walls, and I'm like, oh my god. Like, I looked at that. That was the best part of the film, was him blowing up heads and looking badass. That was absolutely incredible. I could not believe what I was watching. It was just unbelievable. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, yeah, this is good. And this is one of the few moments that really shines through. Then he kills Johnny and Sue's dad for no reason. Just kills him. No reason, honestly. He's just like, get out of my way. Just kills him. And so obviously Johnny and Sue are like, I'm going after him and shit. And they all go to the planet because they need to save Earth. It's really paper thin. It really is paper thin. And they all try and go at him one-on-one, and it obviously backfires. Like, Johnny gets, like, covered in rocks, so the fire can't escape, so he can't fly. The thing gets hit with boulders and it weighs him down. Sue gets her force shield nearly pushed to the point where she dies. And Reed is like, he has like these aluminium coils on his suit, which what's the word? Which like he helps contain the stretch and it comes back, but he loses. Doctor Doom takes them off, so he's like all fucking jelly. But he's able to control it back and stuff, which I think was a bit half-assed, but it shows him getting control of his power at least. And so they all gang up on him. They're like, "Oh, he's not stronger than all of us, yeah, we got to go work together," and yada yada yada. And when they have this bit, it's pretty good. Like Reed pulls him down from like this top steeple thing he's on, and then on top of that, there's like Johnny like tries to hit him with fire, and Sue like contains the fire because he's trying to stop them. So she contains the fire in like these little force shields, and then just as they're about to hit him, she opens them up and it hits him. And then while he's stunned as shit, all you can hear is boom, 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 like this running fucking noise. And it's the Thing that's been turned invisible thanks to Sue Storm, and he just fucking appears in front of Doctor Doom, and he's like, "It's Clobber," and something. He fucking knocks him into the portal, and he like evaporates and dies. And it was so cool to hear the clobbering line, like it's clobbering time line, but at the same time, out of nowhere, there's no reason for it. Earlier in the film, when his brother beats him up as a kid, like slightly, he's like, "You know what it is? It's clobbering." It says like that, and I think, oh, it's maybe a family thing because it's from New York and stuff. But it's just thrown in there, and I'm like, it's cool, but it's fan service. There's no point to it. And so they defeat Doctor Doom, they go back, and then they talk to the military, and the military are like, "Right, we need you for us," and they're like, "No, we're not helping you, we want to do our own thing." So they set up a base, they want to do their own thing, and then the last, like, I'm not even joking, it feels like 3 minutes, they're trying to find, just, like, pick their name. They're like, "How about the Human Torch and the Torchettes, and how about Mr. Proton and his protons, and then Suton's like, what about Mrs. Proton and her protons, like this." And then the Thing goes, "Oh, the day when you came to me and you had that thing, oh, it was just fantastic." And he's like, "Say that again." He's like, "It's fantastic." Like that. And he's like, "I think we've got our name." And he's like, and then it like cuts. And that was probably the best way they could have done it, was to cut it. And then that was the end of the film. And we waited after the credits. Nothing after the credits. Not a single thing after the credits. Nothing. Not even during, after, none. Not a thing. And not even a Stan Lee cameo. There was not a Stan Lee cameo in the film either. It felt like a very bare-bones Marvel movie. And that's another thing. The last third of the movie felt like someone took Avengers and they're like, "Let's recreate Avengers kind of, and then do this other." And it's just, it doesn't work. Highlights of the film, in my opinion, the cast worked together fine. I was fine with them. The origin, what it was touched on, was good, but it needed more kick. It needed more. The Thing fucking looked amazing. I think the Thing CG is probably the best thing in this film, CG wise. I loved the look of the Thing. I loved the voice. They got it perfect. The Thing was fine. Just the origin could have been a bit better, and the clobbering timeline could have been used a bit better as well. Besides those things, I think the Thing was done the best out of the four. Reed Richards very close second. Sue and Johnny were kind of even, not quite there. And then on top of that, Doctor Doom. Victor was not developed enough, and Doctor Doom didn't look that appealing, but when he was blowing up the heads, it was good. But yeah, it just felt like such a bare basics fucking movie. A bare basics movie. It really did. It was just, here's the Marvel movie, here's the bad guy. You know what it is, and they want to do a sequel out of this. I'm down for it, but fuck me, you've got to bring Josh Trank back if he's gonna even want to cooperate with fucking Fox. On top of that, you have to give him control of what he wants to do. And I don't know what villain you could do after Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is the big villain, and he's dead. He's gone. So I don't know what you could do. There's not really much you could do. I think, honestly, looking at this, I mean, it was obvious anyway, but I think, hey, this is to keep the rights a bit longer. It really is such a shame. This is like, oh, it's such a shame. It's 6 out of 10, because Doctor Doom, when he does shit, is so menacing and so well done. Like, can't help but like that. And the chemistry of the actors is really good, and the Thing and Reed Richards as Mr. Fantastic are done very well, but they could be done better. That's why it's a 6, because it has some good moments, but my god, when it's bad, it's bad. Do I recommend you see it? If you're a hardcore Fantastic Four fan, and you can look over these issues, go for it. If you have nothing else to do and you can get in quite cheap, go for it. Would I recommend you go full price in the UK, like £15-10? No. No. If your kid wants to see it, I can see them being entertained for like a bit of it. But yeah, the best Marvel movie already came out this year. It was Avengers 2. It already came out, and I had a feeling it would. And to be honest, Ant-Man was very good as well. Not quite as good as Avengers 2 in my opinion, but still very good. That had problems. That came off better. Big Hero 6 as well was phenomenal. So it's just the short straw, really. I hope there is another one, and I hope this cast gets back together, and I hope they do more with these characters, because there is such a lot of potential here. And I would hate to see them just reboot this shit again, because we're done with Fantastic Four. Make a good sequel, make a good Fantastic Four film, or don't bother. Really, just don't bother, because there's no point. So yeah, getting off that off my chest and stuff. I didn't mind it, but yeah, I don't know. My girlfriend didn't like it. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Sorry it's quite a while. Cheers again. Bye.